I make house stuff and electro, I make hip hop. Probably some of the material I make is sort of like somewhere in between too. There's like common threads to what I look for in tracks. I always feel like it's important for a track to be like hummable or singable, and then even if I'm making like a bang-in house electro like festival thumper or whatever, like someone has to be able to like hum it out.
I believe in you. They told you you can't, show them folks you do. Every bitch in the world posts us in their room.
A couple years ago, I started like something that became a ritual over the years, which is just to go down to Atlanta to work on music for a couple of days at a time. With the song Believe, that was recorded a year ago. I just put the files on my hard drive and came home and didn't touch them for months for some reason. I don't think they anticipated necessarily that I was going to change the song as much as I ended up changing it. To them, it was just like, oh, we made a track, you know? Contact has a bunch of instruments, and there's this music box. That was great for this. Initially, when I was at Prom Night's crib, it didn't have the boom doom notes in the beginning. It was just steady chords. And I just moved those notes. I like when the first like instant of a song is recognizable, and having that boom boom boom, that made it more unique than just a straight chord. And I remember there was a bit of a challenge to get that music box sound to cut through the mix. So we had to like stack it a little bit, like there's a lower octave and there's a piano in there that you don't even hear if you don't solo it, but it just fills out certain frequencies. And like once the full beat comes in, there's even a Spire synth that's just there to give it that little attack. You want to create the illusion that that's the only instrument you're hearing, but there's a piano and a synth in there, but you're not even supposed to notice. I call it Rugrats. That's what the track is labeled. That's a category of sounds for me. Piano chords and a hook. And then there's this little hit. Like those little percussions. It's already a sound that's been processed and that's sort of ready to go. This comes from like one of my sessions with Prom Night where he's like, I've got the sub that you need for this. In the verses, there isn't even a kick on top of it because that sound itself has an attack to it. It sounds like a kick. On the sub, you'll notice that there's a little bit of glide. That thing here. All you need to do to have it activated is to have a little overlap on the notes. So this is why these guys overlap. Now when it's like the A section and B section, you know, the A being this. Ice in my watch. And B section being this.
Take them back to the beginning. Back with full of bows winning.
Where that lead that I was saying I wanted to keep from the original version, we replayed it with like 2 synths that we stacked. And like changed the melody just a little bit. But that was one thing that I wanted to really keep from the original. And my brother, Dave from Chromeo, he's always like, I play him every demo I make because he's a trained musician. I'm a DJ who makes music, but he always has these good ideas. And that B section, he was like, why don't you put a snap in there? Like, I was like, snap, like a straight up, like them Franchise Boys kind of snap. And
Take 'em back to the beginning.
That's when I put that in.
Back before the bows winning. Back before I had a million.
And I changed the bass sound to finally found this guy. So that was the sound at first, which it's just not mean enough. A little bit of overdrive. You know, it's like it's on 30%. So just that gives it a little bit of bite. Then this bass amp that is, you know, comes built in with Ableton Live, that took it like much further into the mean territory. So I used this transient shaper thing. There's a gazillion different transient shapers out there. This one's just easy to use, and I obviously just like gave it a lot more attack. So when I turn that on, you can hear that. I was hearing like a little bit too much of the grit on top from the distortion from this guy here. So just a little bit of auto filter. Compression with like a very slow attack that just helped me like pull the rubber more, like extend, you know, the boom. So without it's like this, with the compressor, right? And then I was just trying to like refine the sonics a bit more. So I like the Vaster a lot. It has good presets, and also like it's a multi-band compressor with like, you know, you can filter out the frequencies that you want to compress. So it allows you to go and find what part of the sound you want to, you know, give more presence to without losing low end or top end if you want. The whole thing's filtered down. So that's just running all the tracks through a sort of auxiliary track. Simple as that. Oh yeah, that harmony was born in Ableton, right? Because at first it was just,
I believe in you.
I wanted to have a harmony, but I wasn't gonna track down, you know, Yachty just for this. So I just created it. Normal pitch at 0.
I believe in you.
And then 5 up.
I believe in you.
With the root.
I believe in you. They told you you can't show them folks you do. Every bitch in the world posts us in their room. But I fuck with Lil Yachty cause she vacuum. Suck me in the living room.
I wanted to have this little 4-bar instrumental section just to be like, hey, a DJ made this. A lot of the traditionalists of hip hop try to like not give Yachty props. Yachty is dope. He's good. He killed it on this song, and like that style of like kicking, you know, a couple bars back and forth, to me that's some Run DMC shit. Quavo's one of the best right now. His diction is so the opposite of mumbling. Like no one articulates as well as him. It's crazy. It didn't seem like I had pulled the rug from under their feet. Didn't seem like I put them in another context too much, but I had the beat that I felt happy with.
This for my niggas who don't ever took a loss. This for my niggas locked up behind bars. This for my niggas who need extra push. They hated me like Bush.